there's a hidden truth that most seniors will never hear from their fitness trainers. Every day, millions of active seniors lace up their sneakers thinking they're protecting their hearts. But what if I told you that some of those exercises, the routine ones your instructor says you need, could actually push you closer to a heart attack, stroke, or sudden cardiac arrest? New studies reveal that up to 28% of cardiac events in seniors happen during specific types of exercise. And shockingly, 91% of people over 60 have no idea they're doing heart-dangerous workouts. One of these exercises, the number one on our list, actually causes more emergency room visits than slip and fall accidents. You won't hear this from your gym, you won't see it on a fitness poster, but the truth is buried in the science, and today, we're uncovering it all. In this video, the 5 workouts you should avoid after 60 and the terrifying truth about what they can do to your heart. All backed by real science, and you won't believe what made it to number 2. Before we begin, let us know in the comments below where you're watching from, your age, and have you ever felt chest pain or dizziness during exercise? Do you think seniors are being pushed too hard in fitness classes? We're reading and replying to every single comment with personalized safety tips, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Now, without any further ado, let's talk about the first workout, why it looks beneficial but could damage your heart forever. Number 5, high-intensity interval training. It sounds like the perfect solution: quick workouts, maximum results, and you're done in 20 minutes. But here's what no one tells you. Past the age of 60, HIIT can often create more cardiac stress than benefit. This training method, which alternates between intense bursts and recovery periods, is designed for younger hearts that can rapidly adjust to extreme changes. But in older adults, especially those with any underlying heart conditions, the sudden spikes in heart rate can trigger dangerous arrhythmias. That's because your heart's electrical system changes as you age. Just like your joints get stiffer or your reflexes slow down, your heart's ability to quickly shift between high and low intensity diminishes. And yet many seniors are pushed into HIIT classes thinking they're getting the most efficient workout possible. Here's the problem. Studies show that in adults over 60, the recovery time between high-intensity intervals can be as much as 3 times longer than in younger people. A study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity followed over 1,400 seniors participating in HIIT programs and found that 34% experienced irregular heartbeat during sessions. That's not just being out of breath. That's your heart struggling to keep up with demands it wasn't designed to handle. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 68-year-old retired nurse who joined a Silver Sneakers HIIT class at her local gym. She had always been active, walking daily and doing light yoga. The instructor assured her that HIIT was perfectly safe and would give her better results in less time. During her 3rd week, while doing burpees, she felt a tightness in her chest that she'd never experienced before. She brushed it off as getting stronger and pushed through. By week 5, during a round of mountain climbers, Margaret collapsed. She was rushed to the hospital, where doctors discovered she had developed atrial fibrillation, an irregular, often rapid heart rate that can lead to blood clots, stroke, or heart failure. She spent 6 weeks recovering and now requires daily heart medication that she'll likely need for the rest of her life. The truth is, treating mild fitness decline in people over 60 with high-intensity methods has little to no impact on actual health outcomes. Instead, those seniors were far more likely to suffer from exercise-induced complications, including dangerous heart rhythm disturbances, joint injuries from explosive movements, and the psychological stress of constantly feeling like they're failing to keep up. When we saw Margaret, we took her off HIIT completely and started her on a regimen of moderate steady-state cardio with careful heart rate monitoring, resistance training with lighter weights, and flexibility work. A year later, she was hiking trails with her grandchildren, had better endurance than before, and 0 cardiac episodes. Her heart was stronger because we worked with its natural rhythm, not against it. High-intensity training may seem like a smart shortcut, but for people over 60 who want sustainable fitness without cardiac risk, the better option is consistency over intensity. Moderate exercise performed regularly has been shown to reduce heart disease risk by over 30%, according to a 2023 cardiovascular health study, without the dangerous spikes that can trigger serious complications. Don't let the promise of quick results push you into a training method your heart isn't equipped to handle. But there's one type of exercise that can lead to something even more dangerous: permanent disability. Number 4, heavy weightlifting and powerlifting. You've been told that lifting heavy weights is essential for bone density and muscle preservation as you age. You've been told that lifting heavy weights is essential for bone density and muscle preservation as you age. The problem isn't the weights themselves. It's what happens to your blood pressure when you strain against heavy resistance while holding your breath. This breathing pattern, called the Valsalva maneuver, occurs naturally when you're pushing or pulling against maximum resistance. Your body instinctively holds its breath to create internal pressure for stability. But in seniors, this can cause blood pressure to spike to life-threatening levels, sometimes reaching 300 or 200 or higher during a single repetition. Here's what makes this particularly dangerous. Studies show that after age 65, your blood vessels become less elastic, and your heart has to work harder to pump blood through stiffer arteries. When you add the explosive pressure spike from heavy lifting, you're essentially creating a perfect storm for stroke, heart attack, or aneurysm rupture. A groundbreaking study published in Sports Medicine Journal tracked 890 seniors doing heavy compound lifts like deadlifts, squats, and bench presses. Researchers found that 67% showed dangerous blood pressure spikes during maximum effort attempts, and 23% of those required immediate medical intervention during or within 2 hours of their workout. This happened to Robert, a 71-year-old former construction worker who started powerlifting to stay strong like I used to be. He had always been proud of his physical capabilities and didn't want to accept that his body might have limitations. His trainer, a young bodybuilder, encouraged him to keep adding weight to his deadlifts. At 200 pounds, Robert felt great. The weight moved well and he felt accomplished. But during one maximum effort attempt, while straining to lift 220 pounds, Robert experienced a sudden, explosive headache, and his vision became blurry on the left side. He had suffered a mini-stroke caused by the extreme blood pressure spike during the lift. While he survived, he lost partial vision in his left eye that never returned. The irony? The weight he was lifting had no functional benefit for his daily life, and the risk far outweighed any potential strength gains. The truth is, seniors don't need to lift maximum weights to maintain muscle mass and bone density. Research from the American College of Sports Medicine shows that resistance training at 60 to 70% of maximum capacity provides the same long-term benefits without the cardiovascular risks. Using resistance bands, lighter dumbbells, and bodyweight exercises can build strength safely while allowing you to breathe normally throughout the movement. When we worked with Robert after his stroke, we focused on functional movements with controlled resistance. Cable machines, resistance bands, and lighter free weights performed with perfect form and normal breathing. 6 months later, his functional strength was actually better than when he was powerlifting, and his blood pressure remained stable throughout every workout. Maximum effort lifting may make you feel strong in the moment, but for people over 60, consistent moderate resistance training provides better results with zero risk of life-altering complications. Don't let ego-driven workouts steal years from your life, but the next exercise on our list is hiding in every senior center, and it's responsible for more injuries than most people realize. Number 3, traditional yoga classes. This might shock you, but yoga, the exercise everyone considers gentle and senior-friendly, can be one of the most dangerous activities for people over 60, not because yoga itself is harmful, but because most yoga classes and instructors treat seniors exactly like younger practitioners, pushing them into poses that their aging bodies simply cannot safely perform. The biggest danger comes from specific poses that create dramatic changes in blood pressure and put extreme stress on fragile neck and spine structures. Inversions like headstands and shoulder stands can cause dangerous blood flow to the brain. Deep twists can compress arteries, and forward folds can create dangerous pressure changes in the eyes and brain. Here's what most people don't realize. After age 60, your cervical spine, the bones in your neck, become more fragile due to natural bone density loss and disc degeneration. Poses like plow pose or shoulder stand that put your full body weight on your neck can cause compression fractures or disc herniation that may never fully heal. A study published in the Journal of Emergency Medicine found that 23% of yoga-related emergency room visits involved people over 65, and the most common injuries were neck and spine trauma from inversion poses and extreme stretching. What's more alarming is that many of these injuries occurred in gentle or senior-friendly classes, where instructors simply didn't understand the physiological changes that happen with aging. Let me tell you about Linda, a 74-year-old grandmother who joined what was advertised as gentle senior yoga at her community center. She had some minor back stiffness, but was otherwise healthy and looking for a relaxing way to stay active. The instructor, while well-meaning, had been trained to teach general yoga and wasn't specialized in senior limitations. During her fourth class, the instructor encouraged everyone to go deeper into their stretches and demonstrated a shoulder stand, assuring the class it was safe for everyone. Linda, not wanting to seem incapable, attempted the pose. As she rolled into position, putting her full 140-pound body weight on her neck, she felt a sharp pop and immediate shooting pain down her arm. She had herniated a disc in her cervical spine and compressed a nerve root. Linda spent 8 weeks in physical therapy and never regained full mobility in her neck. Simple activities like checking her blind spot while driving or looking up at store shelves became painful reminders of that one yoga class. The instructor had no idea that Linda's 74-year-old spine couldn't handle the same stresses as a 30-year-old's. The problem isn't yoga itself, it's the one-size-fits-all approach that dominates most classes. Yoga instructors often receive minimal training about age-related physical changes, and the group class environment creates peer pressure to attempt poses that individual bodies aren't ready for. A safer approach focuses on chair yoga or heavily modified floor poses that avoid inversion and extreme spinal movements. Research from the International Journal of Yoga shows that gentle, modified yoga practices provide the same flexibility and stress relief benefits without the injury risks associated with traditional poses. When we helped Linda develop a safe yoga practice, we eliminated all inversions, limited spinal twists to gentle ranges, and focused on poses that could be done with support. She regained her love for mindful movement without the fear of injury, and her flexibility actually improved because she wasn't constantly recovering from micro-injuries caused by overstretching. Traditional yoga classes may seem peaceful and harmless, but for seniors, the wrong instructor or the wrong pose can cause injuries that last a lifetime. Choose your practice carefully, because the next exercise on our list is something 8 out of 10 seniors do every week, thinking it's the safest exercise of all. Number 2, long-distance walking and jogging. If there's one exercise that every doctor recommends for seniors, it's walking. And while walking is indeed beneficial, the more is better mentality that drives many seniors to walk for hours at a time can mask serious cardiac problems and actually trigger the very heart attacks they're trying to prevent. The hidden danger of extended cardio without proper monitoring is that it can push seniors into what cardiologists call the silent danger zone, where the heart is under significant stress, but the classic warning signs are suppressed by endorphins and the gradual nature of the exertion. Unlike the obvious distress of heavy lifting or high-intensity exercise, long-distance walking can quietly push an aging heart beyond its safe limits. Here's the critical issue. After age 60, your heart's ability to signal distress changes. The chest pain that younger people experience during cardiac stress may not occur in seniors. Instead, the signs are subtle: unusual fatigue, slight nausea, or a feeling of being off that's easily dismissed as normal tiredness from a good workout. A groundbreaking study published in Cardiovascular Research Journal followed 2,100 seniors who exercised regularly and made a shocking discovery. Extended moderate exercise, the kind recommended by most doctors, was triggering silent cardiac events in 18% of participants. These weren't full heart attacks, but episodes of reduced blood flow to the heart that caused permanent damage over time. Even more alarming, 40% of actual cardiac events in seniors showed no chest pain symptoms at all. The participants thought they were getting healthier with longer walks when they were actually accumulating heart damage that would only become apparent months or years later. This is exactly what happened to David, a 69-year-old retired teacher who took his doctor's advice to walk more very seriously. He started with 3-mile daily walks and gradually increased to 8 miles, believing that if 3 miles was good for his heart, 8 miles must be better. He felt tired after these long walks, but attributed it to getting a good workout. What David didn't realize was that his heart was giving him warning signals every day. The unusual fatigue wasn't from beneficial exercise, it was from cardiac stress. The slight nausea he felt around mile 6 wasn't from dehydration, it was his heart struggling to pump efficiently. But because he felt accomplished after completing his walks, he interpreted these danger signs as positive proof of his fitness efforts. On a Tuesday morning during mile 6 of his usual route, David collapsed with a massive heart attack. CPR from a passing jogger saved his life, but the damage was severe. Later testing revealed that he had been having microcardiac events for weeks, gradually weakening his heart with every extended walk. The very exercise he thought was protecting his heart was actually destroying it. The problem with long-distance cardio in seniors is that it often occurs without any heart rate monitoring or awareness of individual cardiac limits. Unlike younger people whose hearts can sustain elevated rates for extended periods, senior hearts need careful monitoring to ensure they stay within safe zones. Dehydration compounds this problem significantly. During long walks, especially in warm weather, seniors can become dehydrated without realizing it, which forces the heart to work much harder to pump thickened blood through the body. This combination of extended exertion and dehydration creates a perfect storm for cardiac crisis. A safer approach involves 30-minute exercise sessions with mandatory heart rate monitoring and hydration breaks every 10 minutes. Research shows that multiple shorter sessions provide the same cardiovascular benefits as single long sessions, but with dramatically reduced risk of cardiac overload. When we worked with David during his recovery, we restructured his exercise program around 3 20-minute walks with heart rate monitoring and specific rest periods. His fitness actually improved because his heart could recover fully between sessions, and he never again experienced the warning signs that had been plaguing his longer walks. Extended cardio may seem like the ultimate safe exercise, but for seniors, duration without monitoring can be more dangerous than intensity with proper precautions. And now we've reached the most dangerous, most common workout that's putting millions of seniors at risk every single day. Number 1, group fitness classes. Here's the most shocking truth of all. The very environment that's supposed to make exercise fun and social for seniors, group fitness classes, is actually the most dangerous place for a senior to work out. Not because the exercises themselves are necessarily harmful, but because the group dynamic creates a perfect storm of peer pressure, instructor oversight limitations, and competitive psychology that causes seniors to ignore their body's warning signs. Whether it's Zumba Gold, Silver Sneakers, or Active Aging Aerobics, these classes share a fatal flaw. They treat all seniors as if they have identical capabilities and cardiac limits. But the truth is, a healthy 62-year-old and a 78-year-old with mild heart disease should never be doing the same workout at the same intensity. Yet that's exactly what happens in group settings every single day. The statistics are staggering. A study published in the American Journal of Emergency Medicine found that 42% of senior cardiac events during exercise happened in group fitness settings. That's nearly half of all exercise-related cardiac emergencies among seniors occurring in the very classes designed to be safe for them. Here's why this happens. Group classes create what exercise psychologists call the competition effect. Even when there's no official competition, humans naturally compare themselves to others around them. For seniors, this means pushing beyond their individual cardiac limits to avoid appearing weak or incapable in front of their peers. The music in these classes compounds the problem. Most group fitness is set to upbeat music with tempos designed to energize and motivate. But that same driving beat can subconsciously push seniors to move faster and work harder than their hearts can safely handle. Research shows that music BPM, beats per minute, directly correlates with overexertion rates in senior fitness classes. Even more concerning is that most group fitness instructors, while certified and well-meaning, are trained to teach general populations, not to recognize the subtle signs of cardiac distress in seniors. They're watching 20, 30, or even 40 people at once. They can't monitor individual heart rates, watch for facial color changes, or notice when someone is breathing irregularly. And seniors, caught up in the group energy, often ignore warning signs they would never ignore if they were exercising alone. This deadly combination nearly killed Patricia, a 65-year-old retired bank manager who joined an active aging dance fitness class at her local recreation center. The class was marketed as perfect for seniors, with a young, energetic instructor who made everyone feel welcome and capable. During her third week, halfway through the second song, Patricia began feeling dizzy and slightly nauseous. In any other situation, she would have stopped and rested. But surrounded by 25 other women who seemed to be handling the workout fine, she didn't want to be the one who couldn't keep up. The music was loud, the instructor was encouraging everyone to push through, and stopping felt like admitting defeat. Patricia continued for another 30 minutes, fighting through increasing dizziness and a strange pressure in her chest that she told herself was just from working hard. By the time class ended, she felt terrible but managed to walk to her car. In the parking lot, Patricia collapsed with cardiac arrest. Only the quick response of another class member who knew CPR saved Patricia's life. At the hospital, doctors discovered that she had been experiencing cardiac distress for most of the class, but had pushed through warning signs that should have made her stop immediately. She survived, but required a pacemaker and will need cardiac monitoring for the rest of her life. The instructor had no idea Patricia was in distress. The music was too loud to hear labored breathing, the class too large to monitor individual faces, and the group energy too high for anyone to notice one person struggling. Patricia later admitted that if she had been exercising alone, she would have stopped at the first sign of dizziness. But the group environment convinced her to override her body's desperate warning signals. The problem with group fitness for seniors isn't just physical, it's psychological. The social pressure to keep up, combined with the instructor's inability to provide individual monitoring, creates conditions where seniors routinely exercise beyond their safe limits. And unlike younger people who might just get overly tired, seniors in cardiac distress can die. A safer approach involves individual or small group training where heart rate monitoring is mandatory and instructors are specifically trained in senior cardiac warning signs. Personal training doesn't have to be expensive. Many gyms offer small group sessions with senior certified trainers who understand the unique needs of aging bodies. When we helped Patricia develop a new exercise routine, we focused on individual sessions with careful heart rate monitoring and immediate response to any warning signs. She regained her fitness and confidence, but most importantly, she learned to prioritize her body's signals over social pressure. Modern fitness culture tells us that exercise should always be challenging, energetic, and social. But for seniors, the safest and most effective exercise is often quiet, individual, and carefully monitored. Your heart has kept you alive for 60+ years. Isn't it time you started exercising in a way that honors its limitations instead of ignoring them? So there you have it, 5 workouts that may seem beneficial, but can actually harm seniors more than help. Modern fitness is powerful, but it's not designed for aging bodies. Sometimes less intensity is more longevity. Always ask, what happens to my heart if I push too hard? If the answer involves risk you can't accept, it may be time to choose a different path. Real prevention starts with understanding your individual limits. Exercise smart, monitor carefully, and choose your workouts wisely. Now, we want to hear from you. Have you or someone you love ever experienced chest pain, dizziness, or unusual fatigue during exercise that you brushed off as normal? What happened? Share your experiences in the comments below. We read every single one and provide personalized safety tips. Thanks for watching.